Greta was
Speaking
with the
of.
governor on the road this week. How did you get to go out with the governor? I wasn't invited.
You need to have one of my bookers. That's I'll tell you who to carry. Carrie booked it.
Okay. Well, how
Don't
did it go
steal
this
her.
weekend?
Don't steal her. She's getting married, by the way. Anyway. All right. But anyway, tonight, besides Governor Palin, we got on the bus with Governor Palin. We also have Senator Santorum from New Hampshire. Wonder why he's in New Hampshire. Is the popular place these days. And Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann go on the record. So we have quite a lineup tonight. So,
all right, we'll be
by
watching.
the way,
Yeah.
Governor Palin answers the question whether the fire in her belly to run has gotten hotter or colder. So you got to stick around for that.
All right, I'm going to guess, and I haven't seen the interview and I haven't read a transcript. I'm going to guess hotter.
No response.
And the answer is, all right,
And the
coming up on
answer
Greta.
is?
More of the Great American Panel. Tim Tebow is here tonight. That's all straight ahead. All right, we continue now with our Great American Panel. All right, Governor Palin on a bus tour and then eating lunch with Donald Trump earlier today. Let's go to the weekend, and this is what she said.
This isn't a campaign bus. This is a bus to be able to express to America how much we appreciate our foundation and to invite more people to be interested in all that is good about America and to remind ourselves we don't need to fundamentally transform America. We need to restore what's good about America. You can start by doing that right in here.
All right, she running?
I think so. I think she's running. I think even, she and Donald Trump have a lot in common because they are able to move the masses and they also get a lot of attention. Mm-hmm. And, the bus tour, why else would she be doing a bus tour?
What do you make of, first they had pizza earlier and then they went to dinner later. Is that what happened?
Well,
or was that the dinner?
They went to dinner. Maybe they had pizza. I don't know. But they did meet. So that's a powerful alliance. And she has a movie out.
What do you think it was about? They said it was not just a friendly meeting.
Oh, really? You think? I doubt it.
What do you think?
I think the dinner was about the fact that we're talking about the dinner, right? I think these are two people that are brilliant at commanding attention. They are brilliant at getting exposure. I think one of the great ironies of Sarah Palin and this bus tour is for all of her railing against the media, she needs them as much as they need her. And she thrives on it.
They don't have to follow her.
She thrives on it. I agree with that. And look, I think the media
Why are they following her? Because she's interesting.
Yes.
Because she's a great story.
All right,
She's a great story. You're
great
right.
story.
All right, so now, do the American people want a great story? Do people in the primary? Because I think Obama's got his own problems. He's his biggest problem.
It is a big problem, obviously. Look, you got to decide at some point, do we want somebody, as you were mentioning earlier, who's a firebrand, who commands attention? Sarah Palin's the only person who could compete with Barack Obama and drawing a crowd. Or do you want somebody nice and boring who makes the attention go to Obama and makes people decide, is this is a referendum on Obama, yes or no? If it's a choice, it's tougher for the Republican. If it's a choice between product A, whether it's Trump, Palin, whoever, versus Obama, Obama's got an advantage. Make this election about Obama.
What do you think?
It's just not right. There's no way. Nice and boring, we're going to lose. We do the same old, it's not your daddy's GOP anymore. It's over. We're going into a new age.
The White House
You're saying this is, for example, this is one a year where it's wide open. This is not going to be the next person in line. So you're saying that the dynamic in the media has changed,
yes.
and people want a people's president.
New media, Twitter.
That is energetic, gets into controversy, gets into trouble, and is outspoken.
Stands for something.
Recession. We're going to have $5 a gallon gas. Homes are not selling. Make the election about that.
Okay, what do you think, Mo?
I think elections are always about choices, right? And I think looking at the current crop of Republicans, I think it's going to be a close election. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's a slam dunk for our side. But I do like our chances up against just about any of them, because when you look at what they are talking about.
Deficits high.
Don't count out Trump. Don't count out Palin.
High.
They're the new way.
I would love for them to run.
What are you saying? You think Palin and Trump will unite?
I hope so. Yeah, I think if they're a team effort, it's good. Her new movie, Undefeated, by Steve Bannon's fantastic. Right. Saw it earlier. Trump, don't count him out. Palin, definitely don't count her out. They're the new way.
Guys, good to see you. And coming up, NFL quarterback Tim Tebow is here to talk about his new book, his success, what it's going to be like with the Broncos winning the Heisman Trophy, and he's going to teach me to throw a football. What's wrong with my football throwing? Anyway, that's next. Tim Tebow is one of the most decorated players in the history of college football. He won 2 national championships while playing for the University of Florida and was the first sophomore in NCAA history to win the Heisman Trophy. Now, as a player for the Denver Broncos, Tim Tebow is ready to talk about his life off the field. In his brand new book, Through My Eyes, Tim reveals how his Christian faith and upbringing have shaped him into the athlete he is today. I sat down with him to talk about that and much more. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on.
Man, where did you get? You know what's funny? I'm reading. You're growing up. You have what? 2 older brothers?
I do. Yes.
All right, and so they were older than you, and you wanted to keep up with them and lift weights when you were 4? 4 years old?
Well, they were already into football and they were lifting and training. And as I tell in the book, you know, I wanted to be like them. And so if lifting weights was going to make you better and make me able to keep up with my brothers, then I was going to do whatever it took.
I was just talking to one of your brothers, and I think you could take him now. Am I right?
I think so. I don't know that he wants to go at it right now.
I was the youngest. I had 3 older sisters. They used to beat the living daylights out of me.
Can you take him now?
Yeah, barely. That's how bad
I bet if they gang up on you.
Yeah, they probably could. You have a fascinating background. You know what's amazing? A lot of guys in your profession. You know what? They got girls waiting at the gates, at the hotels, all of this stuff. You grew up in a very religious family. You worked on a farm. You went on missionary trips to the Philippines with your dad who's a missionary.
Yeah.
You prayed up until the minute you chose Florida. You know where was the right place for you to be and where you should go. And you did this all at a young age. What is the difference between you and you see what's going on in football?
Well, you've definitely done your research. But I think for me, ever since I was a young boy, my dad used to always tell me, he said, you know, as a football player, you're going to be blessed with a platform. And when you have success on the football field, you know, people are going to look up to you. And they do. With my success, you know, at Florida and being a first-round draft pick to the Denver Broncos, you know, I'm blessed with a platform. And I believe more than just a platform, it's a responsibility and obligation to be a great role model, to set a great example, because it's one thing to score touchdowns and win trophies and championships. But at the end of the day, that doesn't matter. But if you can affect people, if you can change people's lives, if you can be a good role model, someone that a mom or dad can look to their son and say, hey, that's how you need to handle it, then that's my ultimate goal. And that's ultimately how I would define my life as having success. If I can reach that, if I can be a good role model like I had when I was young, and Danny Werfel and Tony Dungy and some great role models that I had.
No, Tony's a good friend of mine. I agree with you. But Christians are saved. You told a really touching story about how you wanted to become a Christian. Your dad's a minister, was tough on you. And you went to your mom, and she prayed with you, and you became a Christian. But I guess the question I have is, there's a lot of temptation in this world. You know, especially if you were in the public eye and you are a rock star athlete like you are, you know, not everybody has your strength or your faith to guide you through that. Have you thought through how you're going to deal with all of that?
Absolutely. And there's going to be a lot of temptation. And, you know, the longer this goes on with football and everything and being in the spotlight, you're going to have more and more temptation. I think the #1 way that you handle that is obviously by having a strong faith and relying on that and staying in the Word, but also by having a great support staff around you, by having friends that keep you accountable, by having, you know, just everyone in my family, to having, you know, everyone that's involved, my agents, everything, to getting all that support staff that believe in me and also going to keep me accountable, make sure I'm doing the right thing.
How do your fellow athletes respond to your outspoken faith, Christianity, this, hey, we are role models? Because some athletes reject the idea, I'm not a role model.
Well, I think they respect me, but it's not necessarily for that. It's because, you know, they know how passionate I am about football. They know how much work I put into it. They know that I'm the first one there and the last one to leave, and they know that I care about them. And so that outweighs everything else. And I think they respect me for that. And then they see my actions, and then, you know, I think, you know, once they see my actions and respect me for that, then they're more likely to listen to me and hear what I'm actually saying.
Have you experienced that? Maybe guys watched you and wondered, and then all of a sudden they're in trouble. Probably you're one of the first guys they would turn to.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. And, you know, that's the thing, is so many people think that it's about what you say. And it really doesn't have much at all to do with what you say. It has to do with your actions and what you do every day. And then when they look at you after a long period of time and they see, okay, he's for real, and then they'll come to you and you'll talk. And I think that's the greatest witness
so
that
basically
you can
say
have.
Talk show hosts that are all big mouths and have, no, I'm kidding. Our words have no impact. Interesting, the controversy, and you discussed this in the book, about the Super Bowl ad that you did with Focus on the Family, and people were projecting in what they thought it was going to be, and it wasn't anything what they thought. And you did this, why, and what was the outcome of that?
Well, I did it because, you know, I have a very special relationship with my mom, and when a lot of doctors told her that she needed to give up on me, she believed in me.
They said she needed to abort you.
They did, and she believed in me and believed that God had planned for my life. Even when they were saying I might not even baby, I might just be a tumor, and she believed, and she had the courage, and it was an opportunity to publicly thank her, and then also do something to celebrate life. And it wasn't being judgmental or putting anybody down, but it was
Didn't they
something
tell her
special.
that you were going, she was going to die if she continued to carry you?
They said she had a high chance.
Yeah. And what was interesting after you were born is apparently the doctor said it was a bit of a miracle because there was so little of the placenta that was nourishing you.
Yes. So I was malnourished when I was born, and so, you know, my parents asked everyone to pray, and, you know, I caught up pretty quickly.
It looks like it. And the brother of yours is resenting every minute of it right now.
Yes.
All right. So what are your future plans? What are you going to be doing from here?
Well, I have several goals. You know, my dream since I was a little boy was to be a quarterback in the NFL, and that's something I'm pursuing, and I'm working extremely hard to do that. And then also, I've started the Tim Tebow Foundation, and our goal is to bring faith, hope, and love to those needing a brighter day in their darkest hour of need, and that is my ultimate goal.
You're still helping with the family orphanage that you have in the Philippines?
I definitely am, and we're supporting over 600 orphanages. We're building a hospital in the Philippines. We got several Timmy's playrooms. We're really trying to make a difference because honestly, I want my legacy to be with the kids that I impacted, not in the football fields that I played on.
The more Super Bowl rings you win, I would argue
more, though.
you're going to have more impact. Tim Tebow, you're a great American. Good to see you. God bless.
Thank you. God bless you.
And that is all the time we have left this evening. As always, thank you for being with us. Let not your heart be troubled. The news continues. Greta's standing by to go on the record. We'll see you tomorrow night.